the map. Making sure that you're hopped off on. I'm excited to see if FNATIC are just going to be able to run away. So that nice, early push-oriented lineup, sort of savey type of supports, if you will.
Yep. I think that it's just a matter of fact that you don't really need as much of the aggressive power if you've got this Death Prophet now, because you get that inbuilt passive movement speed that you're able to get in on the front lines without the rest of your team actually enabling that for you. And even now, you do have the Tusk, so you can corner off these potential exit areas. I'm much less keen on this Sand King pick. Yes, there is the potential to have the vacuum combo with a Darkseer, but I just feel like everything that Sand King does, Earthshaker does it better, and T1 is the team that banned the Earthshaker, so what's the point?
Well, what's going on with Sand?
Dire team ban.
I feel like a lot of the nerfs have been... See, an Elk pick, okay, that's crazy. Shen Elk, God,
yeah.
what a timeline. I almost feel like it's like not even worth talking about the Sand King anymore. That in and of itself is a draft-defining couple of picks. Terrifying. But I will say that Darkseer Sand King to me sounds like a very strong for being able to punish that Alchemist in safe lane. Odds are right now that we're gonna. I would say with the. I don't know. Maybe they don't. Whoa.
I mean, I suppose they can do that. It's just Sand King feels to me like a weak laner these days, and particularly with the ultimate, you need the Blink Dagger enabled to make something happen, and you need these other... Actually, you don't always need the Blink Dagger, but you need these other abilities that just enable him, and then on top of that, there's the charge up aspect of it. It's not like a lot of these other... Queue them up, but then don't. You're fully committed as soon as you start to charge up that epicenter, so it makes it an all or nothing play, and it's not like it's instant like the Earthshaker one as well. So no, it just feels like it doesn't to any niche right now.
Well, I mean, if we're going to be honest about it, also though, just in general, Sand King ulti feels terrible ability. It's really not.
FNATIC's turn to ban.
Radiant team, pick.
Really don't have an answer for an Alchemy do that.
Pro Warlord's okay as well. I feel like it's something that they play relatively well. You can be that front liner for it. It means that you don't need to pump the into the Ember Spirit to do a lot of damage. The Troll's just able to do it on its own, and maybe you Chakra the Sand King instead, and then just get, 2 stuns in
5 seconds
basically, with all the cooldown reduction taken into account.
Dire team, pick.
Dragon Knight.
So maybe FNATIC expecting that, realizing that they don't have these sort of strong damage dealers in terms of physical, and wanting to get the inbuilt armor to be able to deal with that, because it was T1 that actually won the coin flip, and they chose second pick, so they wanted to have this last selection, and FNATIC, of course, taking the Radiant side, as they've been known to do. It means that maybe, your suggestion with the Pugna does open back up again as a possibility.
I'm worried right now, actually. I think if I'm T1, pick something that dominates the hard as you possibly can, but a tower. In FNATIC's draft, don't come out at least like somewhat even, and one has a hero that can towers a little bit. Who makes plays on that FNATIC lineup? Probably the Tusk is the main one, and outside of that, it's like hoping for an overextension nearby so that you the other side of the map or something. But outside of that, I'm Alk doesn't want to make plays. K, like his version of a play is just dragon and power. Like,
Yeah.
there aren't really that many kill heroes on that.
Kind of. Like, Tusk and DP can do a lot of work just on their own.
Choose your hero, my good friend.
Magnus is okay. With the Empower, you're able to deal with the Chen creeps. You've got that little bit of farm potential. Like, it's going to be hard regardless to try and out-farm an Alchemist, but Magnus makes a small possibility that you're going to at least be able to keep pace with it.
Fun.
Will-O-Wisp, the Epicenter, as well as the Reverse Polarity. Like, it feels like at least 2 or 3 of those need to go perfectly if they're going to have any sort of chance.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hop into this game number 1. Let's do it right now for the overlays. FNATIC are going to be facing off against Battle. No. Would you call them the Giants of Southeast Asia right now? TNC is still obviously up there. Wait, what do you think? Is this the round he won that?
I mean, this like the Dota version, yeah.
You really
I would say it's a bit early for that. I mean, what have they shown? What have they proven? Is what I always say. Like, action speaks much louder than words.
So you're a hater, basically. Okay.
I'm definitely not a hater, and I wish them all the best. You know, of course, it's great to see other big orgs enter the scene, but you got to show me something before I'm going to support you.
All right, fair enough. Well, we've got an interesting little matchup to go on here. Forev, Oakham going to be playing down.
Yeah, this will do just
Already
fine.
they've got
Just
bot.
fine.
Forev, pretty with 3. Always the interesting thing to me is how does that lane stage go? Are you needing to like sort of cut waves early on to get to level 3 on Darkseer? You want to start applying pressure right from the get-go on the 23 Savage's Alchemist? What are they going to try and do on here? Because obviously you can do damage by getting to the top of that Alch, but with Ion Shell it just does so level, almost doubling in damage to go to level 2.
I suppose, yeah, early on it is the case of wanting to harass out. They've actually put the Ion Shell onto Magnus, which I thought was a little bit weird. I would have thought they might put it onto Chikum, considering he has the boots of speed and might be able to chase down some of these. Opting away from it.
Like those 3 Valkyrin going in favor of T1.
Yeah.
Start farm here.
I'd say that's expected though. When you're playing against an Alchemist, he's pretty much used as a bounty contester. So if you're going even, that's a big win for the Alchemist.
All right, well, triple I going out early on. They were able to draft those
Dyer's
packs.
courier has been
D-word on it
slain.
as Jay.
Another innocent
Little fancy
slain
feet.
for our
Just out of curve here. Roast strike onto Chen. This is not going to be a lot early on though. That's the reality. Until he gets level 2 Ion. Paulson is trying to push back DJ and at least punishment. Act this. Pulling on blinding light too.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well. You know, with the blinding light, even if you've got, let's say, the Sand King on top of you, just put it back.
Oh. They're gonna get this pull now, but be able to pull it back that direction. Ice. Wait, they don't want to land. Apparently, that's not the for them.
Yeah. Paulison's main goal is here because he's already used up all of his regen that he had, and he's got the boots of speed. So that fast movement speed that is naturally on the Keeper of the Light is just amplified even further. But this is the best way to be using it, just harassing out against DJ.
Look at Ice Ice Ice. Line Blade double ring of regen. He's getting almost 10 regen a second, but Miracle is doing a lot of damage to him. He actually kind of needs, but doesn't get for extent there. Chains get used. Come on, Polison. Oh, they didn't actually get the block himself out there. DJ did on his.
Just continuing the chase here on Miracle. Getting all of that experience in the top side, so losing out a little bit for his team there. I suppose it gives a little bit to Paulson as well, though.
Has been slain.
Couriers get picked up.
There is certain to be
Jabs.
unimaginable
Got the creep.
retaliation.
This is the be all end all creep right here. A purge creep, 500 mana. That is 4 and a bit ion shells that are going to get taken off for Forev. That feels real bad.
They gave it a little bit of a... No, it was the Harpy that got a little bit of the Zeta. Still incredibly strong. Zap.
And he just forced back. It ruins everything. All they need to do is keep that by the Dark Seer. He's gonna feel terrible. Miracle in the meantime, getting pummeled, getting punched, maybe in a little bit of trouble. Have the brief fire. Need to wait for that
It would
card to
appear
wear off.
Radiant's top tower is under
Able to
attack.
get the kill on the end. Look close though.
That Satyr creep as well also opens up the potential. We've talked about it not really being a kill lane down on this bottom side, and 23 Savage is fine to stay that way. You know, Alchemist is fine to go farm against farm any day of the week, but suddenly turns into a small possibility for FNATIC now that they've got that purge creep.
He messed up. Tried to purge the one creep, but he missed again. He missed it twice. So this is gonna be Forev finishing off the stack. Did he hit a third one? Wait, surely he didn't miss 3 times.
Well,
Am I missing something?
I don't know. But he did right click Forev when he just popped the healing salve. So
Okay,
that's a nice little play.
it looked like he missed casting the purge on the red creep times in a row, but I'm not sure about that. Don't worry, nobody saw it.
No one saw it. And he denied out the Karen as well when Moon was about to go and grab it. So I'd say overall it's a value play.
They taking a long walk over here. Again, this is just what people do now. They have a blinding light pushback if they want to use it. That was ill-advised, but they still are going to be able to quickly find this kill onto deep. Runs him down and gives him the punches. Brad's like, I helped, guys. I helped.
They gave it to Paulson though with the Surge rather than In Your Dream. I thought that was a little weird considering he was having a rough time in this mid lane against the DP.
Yeah, go that way. A little bit strange. Jabs in the meantime is going to come over here and try and bounty ruin the way. 23 Savage, does he pick it up? He does. Fast fingers. This might be able to. Oh no, he didn't. Side here, man.
Nice, really deep ward placed there as well by Pulse in the tri-camp area for Radiant. It meant that it scouted out the DJ Kree that was just sitting there while he was on the other side of the map, trying to do as much harass as possible. So that's another couple of minutes until he's going to have his speed and just his ability for him to create space for the rest of his heroes. So nicely done. Good vision.
Yeah, almost gets caught there, pushed up the high ground, but it's not going to happen. Ooh, blinding light pushback. That's on Blood Golem. Dream is going to get ran down as Moon did decide to pop Exorcism and Paulison too. Not want to mess with that man. But at the same time, coming on and in the Sandstorm, he's going to be able to do a quick clear through of this. Maybe not super quick, but at least somewhat.
I think it's the clear and as well the experience that you're just able to get from it. Essentially got all of it just sitting there on his own. Now he's under the vision of the Sentry Ward, so he needs to be a little careful.
They back out, Exorcism, they don't manage to get the tower taken down. One holding on to it for the moment. They did lose their mag, but at the end of
two banishes now on Jabs. Going in.
Hits him. Iron Shell on this Ember. Bro strike going to connect. Long range there. The 2 points up and another remnant forward. Miracle trying to find that finish. Can he get the kill? He is going to almost just living 19 HP. Oh, and he lets us know about it after. not manage to take down that TP. Man, Moon is a liver.
With a 4-man commitment on top of that, so it's even more punishing that they weren't able to secure it, frees up space. I mean, this Alchemist, what's he sitting at net worth-wise? Yeah, nearly double what the Spirit has. So 23 Savage, the fact that it's 7 minutes into the game, he pulls this Crypt Wave onto the neutral camp, gonna get a neutral out because he's lucky, and farm up all these Regal's Greed.
Courier has been slain.
Yeah, he is half is a clam right now, and about halfway to Radiance too. He is 4-man field. That's a nice one. Real nice one.
All you want is survivability, and I mean, 1,000 gold away from Sacred Relic at 7.5 minutes into the game. I mean, can you ask for much more?
Dude, I actually think that Chen pick was so important. Like, think about this, right? Like, if he did not have those Purge creeps there, how much more aggression would they have been able to lay out with this Darkseer Sand King? Like, this combination doesn't feel like it was able to do almost anything besides like keep that tier 1 power alive. I think a lot of that is by virtue of the fact that you just couldn't Ion Shell and run in because you just get purged.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't control the lane equilibrium all that well, because just by being in the lane and using the Sandstorm, you're going to push things more towards their advantage. It's not like, I harped on about it in the draft, but the Earthshaker can just fisher your lane and then push the lane back into your tower so that you can safely farm. It means that the Alchemist needs to get on the front foot as opposed to being able to sit back and farm and have a great time. So it's kind of like these little flow-on effects that happen because of very small decisions and a little bit of luck in there, let's be honest. You know, to be able to get 2 Sato Vanishes, it's pretty damn lucky.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Definitely. Tried to go for the smoke. Now Miracle may be in trouble himself. No silence on Moon. Too much trouble. At the same time, gets found. Bro strikes the high ground. They have a ward. Find the kill.
They'll just get 1, but 23 Savage, he doesn't really mind. 1 is still fine. It's going to get him his Radiance. Grab this Illusion Rune as well. A little bit unfortunate that he couldn't wait until the he was actually completed onto him, get that extra burst. But I mean, they're in a very commanding position right
Dire's
now.
top tower is under attack.
Definitely.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
As far as T1 is concerned, though, is there a thought that maybe you could try and
Dire's top tower is
make a
being
move
attacked like
soon-ish
nobody's business.
around the timing before he gets to survivability items? 23 Savage, he's queuing up right now a blink and a heart. I don't really know what you do at this point if you're them. I guess you just need to try and
Has that
outgreed them and
ever
hope you
been
can
cause
stay
for
ahead and farm
celebration?
maybe.
Structures are cunningly
Yes, if you're.
I mean, the play was to get a lot more aggressive than they did in the early stages, basically. And now it's really rough for them because he doesn't even need to go into the survivability items necessarily, because you've got the Chen standing next to you. You're going to be regenerating so much more through the Divine Favor. Got the mechanism, you've got the Hand of God, with the Tusk, and you've got this Dragon Knight that's going to be wanting to stand on the front lines with a Hood of Defiance. So you could just see with the style of build that he's going, I think he's got a big dagger queued up, that he wants to come into the fight second and then take a big aggressive stance at that point.
I feel like a broken
4 heroes, bottoms, they do find the kill onto the DK. And after that, they should be able to get the tier 1 power as well. That does signify that Sand King is probably all alone. Dust Silence come out afterwards. Snowball, for good measure, and they get the kill. So he's done. Was about halfway to the Blink Dagger. Still only level 6 on that Sand King. Delay time. He can get something later on in this. They just need Miracle to be huge, I guess.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, good luck with that. Getting to that stage of the game is all I have to say, because 23 Savage, it wouldn't have surprised me if they went to take the tier 2 towers at that point. Yeah, Ice went down, but he didn't use his dragon form, and they used the Darkseer ultimate to be able to do that. Sand King still doesn't have the to granted he shouldn't, because he doesn't really have a way to use it, but it just feels like FNATIC are in some stronger position right now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there is no question. FNATIC, whatever they want. And 23 Savage is actually just going to go BKB. He's like, guys, we don't want to make this a long series. Let's just get this one done and dusted with. I mean, getting an early BKB does create some problems if you start throwing in the later stages and then you have a little duration BKB or something. We'll have to see. For right now, the smoke up, the movement over. They're looking for an opening. They have wall back off cooldown in 2-1. Open in. Find 23 Savage. Bro Strike is there. Already purge off the Ion Shell. Nearly enough damage. Stun comes out. 23 Savage going to kill off that Sand King. They have a Radiance of their own. It is only going to last for a second, and there is no follow-up. T1 are forced to retreat, and hopefully just get out of here before everything falls apart. Woo! Rev. Very close to going down there. And the lone spot is that they don't really have that much lockdown for Miracle at the very least.
Guess it's rough. They're going to be taking... Oh, well, I suppose they do have the RP still on this Magnus. It doesn't look like they're all too keen to contest, though.
Wall. That's and the Exorcism is already out. Snowball. They're coming. Silence. Surge. Run away. Fine. Stun. Towards on Ice. Trying to jump into the midst of all of them. The stun. No, the stun came out afterwards from the Chen creep. In Your Dream brought down very low on HP. They haven't even made themselves to the moment as Miracle just jumps in. They find another silence onto him, trying to kill him off in time on the back lines. In Your Dream goes down by virtue of 20 Savage. Miracle jumps back towards home. Tries to live. Ice. Landing. Not able to win. So they save Roche. They give up the Mag.
Yeah, I suppose it's okay. Mag didn't use RP, he didn't go for the panic one just to try and survive, which is fine, considering Roche was the key objective that FNATIC are playing for at that. Again, I hate saying it over and over, but this saying, you just need to be right in the middle of these team fights, and that's not where you want to be. It's, we saw the Centaur stun, Dragon Knight is able to just tank up whatever you put down, Alchemist has Radiance constantly burning and an Acid Spray, and the Exorcism is happening. Whereas something like an Earthshaker can sit back on the backsides and then get a Key Fisher off and enable the rest of your team.
Good enough. Well, Ember now almost level 12. He's done. He needs to get so much damage. It's really tough for him to do anything, but they do have the strength, as we talked about, of this power. there for the Magnus. Picking up a couple of items here. Philosopher's Stone. We'll see who decides to take that one for themselves. Probably just the Cobb. Paulson has actually been okay, and is getting close to 1 for himself. So there's little bits and pieces. The whole thing as a whole for T1 just does not feel quite as... Feels like there's better heroes on FNATIC. Yeah. I think there are.
There's better heroes, and they're not pigeonholed into one strategy on FNATIC. Yes, they need to play quickly, but the level of execution needed isn't quite as high.
Game is hard. But all is not lost. This is going to TP.
Radiant's
Way Rev pushing down this bottom lane. They should be able to get some decent damage onto this one since everybody at FNATIC is upside, and they see most of these heroes. So, well, they're going to split there to try and keep alive this thing. Cool. There's just me. Wanting to get his block.
I don't think FNATIC really care if they lose this bot tower. They're going to be the ones that are putting more pressure on if the base is exposed. So the fact that they can potentially get a tier 2 is much more valuable for them right now.
Dire's top tower has
7,500 gold ahead right now is the Alchemist. Next highest net worth hero in the game. And now it's time to run back in for round 2. The Exorcism, and currently, I feel like T1 haven't
level 2 exorcism this time as well, so it's be finished much quicker than previous. SIS, he's kind of the bait, just saying, come hit me. I'm pretty tanky.
Thought there that works the illusion hit, but he's gonna get there too late. There was also a pipe jump through Ice, so yeah, even like any bits of damage that they thought they might have had is just not gonna be there. Ooh.
Trying to find this elk. Here we go. Blink dagger reveal.
Dance, jump forward, burrow strike is there. All the damage that they could possibly try and... It's gonna be there. Blink forward, counter 20 Savage. Oh, the Shadow Amulet. He still manages to get stunned because he was off to the side there. He will eventually go down, it looks like. Can drop the Will-O-Wisp if he wants Surge. Okay, he's a fast little man on a pony, but it is not enough to get away. BKB has already been used. Vacuum wall, big jump in with the RP, but the damage is just not there. They don't have what they need. They bring down the Aegis. DJ does fall. Maybe there's a hope and a prayer and a chance. 23 Savage jumping forward, trying to take down Brev, but they can't quite stay on top of them. On the other side, Miracle living. Looks like they get out, believe it or not. They managed to make it work, and they will lose this Alk illusion eventually, but they took down the Aegis.
They took down the Aegis, but what did it cost them? It cost them everything. You've still got a minute left on the Sand King ultimate, minute left on the Darkseer ultimate, minute and a half on the Magnus, and so now just group up. 23 Savages are like, all right, we've got until about 19 and a half minutes to push forward and take a couple of tablets.
This is going to be the timing when Exorcism comes off cooldown as well in the next 30 seconds. So yeah, it is won the battle, possibly going to lose this war. They need 40 more seconds at least until the Darkseer wall is back off cooldown, and you know, it's one of those spells that like it holds an area for a long time, but it also just might not end up working out as well as they would want. Burrows going to jump in on them. They could make this work. This would be great for T1. They are fighting very valiantly here. It's not quite enough to take down the Alk. They stop the pressure on the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, he doesn't have to stay there. That's the thing. You know, they knew exactly when those key ultimates were going to come back up online. He had the BKB if he needed to, but
there's nothing really to follow up afterwards. The unfortunate reality of the situation, but see if you know, they can buy. I mean, they've kind of got to go for I guess all in at some point with the RP. Find some pickoffs maybe.
yeah, and DJ realizes this. You can see what he's got queued up. He's got the Blink Dagger as his next item, so he's going to stay well out of these team fights and then blink in and save as soon as those key ultimates are used all at once.
So much needs to go right for T1 fight. They basically have nothing go wrong. Sand King does take away one of the bounty runes. Side, Miracle was able to take one for himself and maybe down this Chen. the message. Fully commit for it.
Yep. And they realize what it is. It's Operation Save 23/7. She's got the Ogre Frost Mage, so that's a little bit of extra armor for when they're trying to burst him down. That Chrysalis gets a full. I think maybe they're in what a not so great position they're in right now, and gone for a little bit of luck on their side to try and turn things around.
Got to. Right now, DK is not with the rest of his team, but you can have the Chen pull in at any given point in time if it does look like there's a fight. And Heart just now completed. Savage. So 3,000, 12 armor. That's before the frost comes out.
Double the net worth. Yeah, opposing cause.
Very, very spooky.
And he's gone the damage as well instead of the health, so realizing that, look, I've got enough survivability right now, I need to be able to assist with some of the rack that's being pumped out.
I mean, maybe a little greedy. I don't know, what do you think? Are you about that at all? Like,
I think it's okay considering Ice just finished his Blink Dagger, so now they've got the picks that they can double up on with this Alchemist with his Blink Dagger. They going a similar style with the DP to getting a Blink Dagger on her that we've seen in these past couple of days?
I meant more the choice of talent, like 30 damage over 400 health. Like, I feel like 400, but he just never dies again. I could see a world where he dies and take.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It was more about the fact that you're less likely to be in a vulnerable position if you've got the DK who now has his Blink Dagger taking your fights for you, and you can just win the start of the fight in the long game.
All right, go. Heroes, fine. Turned off.
Found the mag.
Forward. Stun in. Ollison's nearby. Super pull away. Glimmer. No. Still back. There's going to be the vacuum wall back on it too, and then the surge away from Mag. So they did not use the RP yet. On the other side of the fight, it looks like Miracle going to be forced into his own BKB here. Trying to chase. They get the stun there. Out onto one. And the Sand King is going to drop, but they managed to find the kill into DJ as well. Bounce the Spirit. Do they have to bring him down? Eyes on the prize. It doesn't look like it's quite going to be there. Evil Scepter lift up. Live another silence. Jump away. Living for the moment, but only to the second. Off to the side. Oh, the slight dodge. He doesn't have any mana now. Miracle needs to get out of there, and there's the Chakra Magic coming in from Paulison. Save his life. They played that so close to tragic, but they were able to make it out.
Just able to survive through it. I think with that Flame Guard as well, he was able to pop it just before, or rather just after the Yule, so it stopped the Dagger coming through on the Alchemist to be able to follow him up after running it out. So nice little play there.
Stuff. Well, Paulison's been having a real good game. Nice showing from this squad, so at least as far as like the individual plays, maybe having some trouble with like the general game plan and just, I mean, you know, sometimes you get out. For now, they haven't been getting
Radiant's bottom tower is
run over.
under attack.
It's just sort of been like a slow, steady demise that you would expect from a lineup that's playing in my head.
Paulison. God.
Surge. Bulls immediately purges it. Glimmer Cape try and run away. Out of there. Blinding Light push back. Doing everything they can to try and keep this guy's survival through. And stun on. See, he's got to run. And they missed the silence, oddly enough. Now Forever thinking about chasing him back again. They decide to go now onto Ice, Ice, Ice. Body blocks coming in from Forev. Where is the team? They've been chasing him for freaking ever here. What is going on? The silence is out again. Get chased. The follow-up is... will be down. Already used the follow-up stun coming from Jabs. Make sure that Darkseer doesn't get anything off. In your dream, forced into the BKB. Get out of dodge before it all breaks. But in the meantime, Sand King cuts the wave. Pulls out of harm's way. They hold off.
Yeah, they use the BKB and the Exorcism, so that's pretty much a neutral win, you would have to say, for T1. You don't have quite as much of that high ground threat. Yeah, the Alchemist can stand on the front lines and just start right-clicking away, but it's not as easy, and that's all Dota is. Like, who can have the easier draft? Seems like who's going to win these games in this meta.
There are still, again, like little signs of life here and there. If you exclude the Alchemist's net worth, the rest of this game is fine for T1. The problem is that he still has so much gold. Will not be able to get his Abyssal Blade for a little bit, though. Courier did die, I believe, with the Basher on it. Now a smoke up coming in.
Dire's bottom tower is under
FNATIC gonna
attack.
try and got Roche back up. It's available.
Counted it out. They know that T1 aren't there, and they've got some pretty decent vision as well, so they could look to try and do a bit of a pincer movement here.
They drop down a world. They see Moon coming up this hill. But on the other side, they see Ice. Able to catch it. Again, hard to see her found. And in some trouble, Burrow Strike trying to save a life. Things off in time. The Guardian Greaves get. He manages to find that wall. There's no vacuum afterwards, but the Surge and the Glimmer Cape living away forever. Able to escape for the moment. He is going to TP out of there. Burrow Strike down to the low ground. FNATIC again gonna pop PK ulti.
Strange to say,
They're getting an objective out of it. Unless they go for Roche maybe again.
That Orb of Destruction, though, makes it very, very nice. Means that he's going to drop a little bit quicker. Don't think they need to pop the Exorcism for it. We should just be able to push out these waves relatively easily. And yeah, not being able to kill forever, it's a reasonably big deal. I thought he might die because he waited until the last second to use the Pipe of Insight, but able to get away, and that Alchemist illusion doing a lot of work for him, meaning that they couldn't follow up with those Blink Daggers that they purchased up.
Looks like T1 are going to be a little bit late to the party here. They're sending in one. Oh, wait, never mind. Excuse me. Looking up to high ground. They spot him out immediately. Now the silence comes out. They don't have anything to break that for the moment. KB is available if he wants to pop it on In Your Dream. Trying to run away. 23 Savage still chasing. Get the Surge away. So they stop Roche for the moment. On the back lines, Marigold here is not empowered, so hurt a little bit more strangely. Let's out that top wave first.
Yeah, they still had 10 seconds on that Alchemist BKB. I think he might have tried to follow up if he still had that available. And now he's into his level 18, so he's going to have that level 3. I hear a Yule Scepter on the top side. Forces a BKB out of Miracle.
Radiant's middle tower is
out of there.
under attack.
Tip. And a deep bottom. Take that one. Give it In Your Dream, I guess. Miracle's still ways away. They have another smoke or anything. Maybe they Glimmer Cape In Your Dream as he goes in. Take down this ward. They absolutely have to. And the jump forward, Ice. Well, they're trying to de-ward. It's not going to be there in time. Up into the high ground. Ice is up there alone. They weren't able to get everybody else because the Centaur, but the snow pulls through down to the low ground. That's a nice save coming from DJ. On the Sand, who is in absolute no man's land. Burrow Strike the other direction. So they take down Coddle and Sand King. Now Ford just paying such huge dividends.
Now in a position to take this. No, it's 3 from 30 seconds. You've got this Alchemist who's critical mass. You've got Ice, Dragon Form popped. You're in a very comfortable position.
The name of the game again, and like it has to be cut waves. You see right now, Miracle, he's going for a battle here. He's again waiting for the later stages and hoping to farm up. I mean, battle damage they used to be, but kind of an interesting build to go for with the Empower, to be honest.
Just going again for all this lap-based stuff with the crit as well on top of that. Just wanting to try and get these big RP combos together, and if FNATIC really, they'll be able to pick this out, make sure they're saving all their packs, because once they use all of their juice, they won't have anything left for the follow-up.
Drake. And one, but jabs,
Radiant's bottom
not
tower
that
is being
concerned.
subjected to
I saw Blink Dagger you were talking about earlier is so effective for them. Skewer away from the rest of this team. Jabs. Oh, never mind. It's not quite fair time. They've came back another one, and they are going to be able to Hold on, Pointer Savage. Ult is down. The ult was good. Wasn't good enough. They want to try and kill off this Tusk, it looks like, with that ultimate illusion. Body blocks coming in, not going to be there in time to do the cover to get that kill. So DJ should be able to escape. Top lane. Exorcism, though, in your dream, this is the skewer back by Moon. And, well, it doesn't look like to stop this.
Dire's top barracks.
Let's take range tracks. Again, it just feels like everything needs to go so perfect for T1 if they're going to make a game of this, but just sit on the front lines. He's got the cheese. No exorcism, but a still decent amount of damage coming through.
They're back again. They didn't quite time that one out perfectly. Ice is eventually going to go down here, it looks like, as they are able to pull, pummel, try and kill, chase, snowball save. Yet again, Burrow Strike. Is there enough to follow up? Wants the kill. He will get that kill, but can he get out afterwards? Rooted. There's the Abyssal Blade. Push down. He's behind some trees over there. Just to walk out afterwards. In your dream, then if you can chase, see if you can get some extra damage back. Skewer underneath the tier 4 towers, along with the Burrow Strike and that vacuum back. 23 Savage's ulti is wearing out.
He's good.
That was genius. He's enjoying it. As he will eventually drop, but as you mentioned, Aegis is there. Can they take him down a second time? Buyback coming from DK. They're going to try and kill him. Another round of that surge forward. Mirror under fire. They don't have enough left in the tank, it looks like.
He's got the heart. He's ready to fight again.
Get out of there, guy. Wow. 12k gold.
Reset. I mean, they're happy with that on FNATIC. They got the objective that they wanted. I suppose a buyback on Ice wasn't completely ideal, but I feel like he was in a little bit too deep for his own good.
Very cool. Down move. A lot of damage. That was a nice little all the way taken down. Silence is there. Continue to chip. Jumps in. The Hex is out afterwards. He wasn't expecting that one. Snowball, and they finally end Miracle's mega kill streak. And with that, T1. I mean, they got the Chen, but the jump forward finds now onto Pharrell after the Ember died. They are continuing to go down one by one. T1 just do not have an answer.
Just the level of trust of this FNATIC lineup is insane. Moon, he was stuck down at about, what, 10, 20% life? He had his BKB available, he had his cheese available, but he knew that DJ was going to be able to back him up and didn't end up using the cheese at all.
Jump forward, nothing into the mag. Shards in, Sand King nowhere left to go. They buy back on Sand King, but this is another tier 3 tower taking another set of racks. And in a second, we're going to be going to another game because FNATIC have thoroughly stomped T1.
Yeah, got a little bit of life left on this 2 tower on the one side, but 23 Savage is going to chunk through that in about 3 hits.
In a blow to the Dire, their bottom tower has fallen.
And, you know, sometimes you just get out. That's what goes on here.
Yeah.
I think once this is all said and done, 23 Savage is getting close to 1,000 GPM.
This is their last chance. No exorcism. Everyone's back on long. Joachim's sitting on the side. He wants to get a big exorcism. He's sitting too close for the point dagger.
No, he found him. Take that, DP. The RP afterwards, but the snowball for the save on the vulnerable people. As they get another skewer back, DJ will die. He gladly gives up his time for his team as Moon, living through it all, had to choose after. Another jump in from Miracle. There's some pretty good damage there. Another the chakra. That kill silences out. Can't quite get the slight of fist off. Such a frustrating game as the Hex is there. They take him down. Skewer back inside the base. But is it really going to be enough? Do they have anything left in the tank? Ice is going to go down. A double kill for Miracle. Can they kill anybody else? They pull Moon in to take them down. 23 Savage really doesn't care. He's walking back to their fountain. He's like, is it really supposed to be fountain diving somebody else over here?
He means Mangoes to use his ultimate.
And he gets the TP. The BKB TP. Oh my god, that was beautiful.
Oh, I mean, that went about as well as you can want for T1. Yeah, you could have probably killed the Alchemist if you were really on point, but I mean, it's at that stage where you do, right? They used absolutely everything to try and pick people off. Everyone used their ultimate. Everything's on cooldown right now. They got a few lucky crits with the Chrysalis and the Empower and the Battle Fury, so yeah, it was their last hope. I think it's given them maybe a 1% possibility, but yeah, it's...
This guy just stunned himself a little bit there. Not that concerned about it. He is super duper duper farm. Craggy Coat. Looks like he's going to be queuing up some Raptors next, so might not eclipse that GPM mark where he gets to by the end of all of this. But yeah, Yasha done for him. I mean, the fact that it's still only a 15,000 gold lead and it's like all on this one here, there's always that thought in the back of my head, like, is
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
It still feels like no, but they're
well, we're talking about going for the all or nothing plays. There's a up on this Ember Spirit. He's still a little bit short of it, but oh boy, it's a possibility.
Sell your bottle, get in there. Yeah, and he needs to make sure that the coddle is there. Magic in him. I mean, how much does that change things if he gets it?
Well, got half of it now with the Demon Edge purchased up. Not wanting to reveal all too much about the strategy. It could still be something else, you know, like he's purchased a Radiance first up. I mean, it brings the luck factor into it. It brings the wombo combo factor into it. If he has the Empower and the Crit Stick and the Rapier and the Battle Fury, it's a possibility, you know?
Time to run away. You do not want to be here. Not your happy place. Or drop down. Scouted.
They had the gem on Ice 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 previously, but we went down. Doesn't have it anymore. Darkseer.
They're up on this high ground right there. Burrow Strike finds the back line. RP on three. The beautiful combination takes them all down. And he's all left alone. 23 Savage forced to pop his BKB. Ice Ice and him are the only ones left alive. They have the Chen available. Now trying to run out of their Burrow Strike in your dream, seeing if he can get away. This could be everything that they were hoping for, and maybe even a bit more. 23 Savage throws out that stun. Do they have enough damage? He is so freaking tanky, but the crits coming in from Miracle, the Empower damage, they're all grouped together. 23 Savage will eventually go down. No buybacks, but I don't know if there's any objectives. They get the Rapier on Ember Spirit. What a freaking fight.
Yeah, I mean, it gives them that small window. This is the kind of game that we want. It's an all or nothing. They lost the laning stage, but why not? They got to go for it. They're doing as well as they can to push these waves out. They don't have the luxury of this Chen build where they can just have someone sitting in the side lanes and then TP straight in. Boots travel obviously not quite as good anymore, and they need all of their net worth for fighting, so they can't just use these abilities.
I am so unbelievably shocked that FNATIC, like, the scan hit on them. They knew they were up there. And again, you don't anticipate there's no way that they're going to be able to fight us. There's no way that they can beat us. Turns out that there potentially was. They found 3 heroes grouped together and RP'd and blew them up. That's the danger of having all your net worth lead basically on one hero. And now it's going down to 6,000 gold lead.
Yeah. Dangerous proposition, and Tights the here on the Ember Spirit. Their timing has to be waiting for something like a double damage because he's hit his level 25 too. So those 3 Sleight of Fist charges, in addition to having the Keeper of the Light to burn it up, that's a lot of damage that you can't really avoid unless you're super on point with the Hex here on this Death Prophet.
Yeah, that's going to be the big determining factor, it feels like. God, if Miracle can somehow manage to win this game, I mean, yes, it's a lot about these other heroes around him as well. You need all of your heroes to be playing well together as they're going to get this ward down up on the high ground, make sure that they have some good vision here. But it comes down to Miracle just not dying, right? Like he is the hero that they're all playing around.
Yeah, I mean, essentially it's just enable Miracle at this point. Trying to do little things like build up the Assault Cuirass on In Your Dream just to become aura carriers, essentially.
So do you think he finishes off the Daedalus next for Ember? Like, I don't know.
Suppose. I mean, it's a decent next item. He needs to make sure that he's saving for buyback and he's still a little bit short. Or do you go the complete all-in play?
I don't know. I have no idea, man. Aghanim Scepter picked up. Who did he give it to? Give okay. DP has an Ags now. Suddenly, some of this net worth is on other heroes. That makes me feel a hell of a lot more comfortable about this game, but still scary.
Yeah.
Scary.
What else scary is that Refresher Orb sitting on the Refresher Shard, sitting on top of Roshan and FNATIC. They want to go forward. They've got the leveler on the Alchemist as well, so there's going to be a lot of bashes coming through here, but he's not quite level 25 yet.
Danger, danger. Sticking together. They're all together. That was the worst wall. Oh, God. All right, Yule Scepter lift up, though, for him. Trying to run away. Burrow Strike. Maybe it was a late at all a ploy. Can they make it work? Yule Scepter lift up on him. Forev's just going to TP out of there, but they get the Abyssal action for the kill. Oh, wow. I mean, he went for everything there with that vacuum. He thought he was going to be able to catch several different heroes, but he didn't end up finding it, really. Unfortunate. He's going to buy back, though. And I don't know if they can get there in time. Are they really going to run in for this? This is crazy. It happens too quick.
Yeah, and he'd previously used the TP scroll, so he couldn't even TP back to the post to try and make something happen. Well,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Now, they've been in this situation before. It is tough. They've got the Aegis on the Death Prophet. Cheese is in 20 Savage's backpack. And do we have the Refresher Shard as well? Yeah, it's on Moon. Time will tell.
But look to use it straight away. Basically, you just want to wait 20 seconds until this DK ultimate is back online. He's got the halberd too, so you're going to have a lot less damage maybe coming through from this Magnus, although pretty on point on In Your Dream side and catching out multiple heroes inside the RPs that any sort of active abilities haven't really been getting off.
You know, I think I was maybe a little bit unfair to Forev there in my commentary. I think it was really good play by FNATIC to be super split up as the BKB comes out In Your Dream, trying to find somebody, does manage to get jabbed, held on to that RP. Do they have a stun? Ooh,
Playing with fire, my friends.
That was real close. Damn. All right, there's still a chance. They've got the RP available, but it needs to be perfect. Vacuum wall, there it is from all of them. The RP afterwards, the snowball save, they kept him alive. Are you kidding me? She dies eventually. That's only the Aegis. 23 Savage left alone. Burrow Strike through, trying to take him down. The Remnant in, wants to kill you. Missile Blades to get a little bit of space. Trying to run to the other side. Silence for the Omen is the Ember Spirit. But do they have any extra follow-up? Second time. 23 Savage rooted. Burrow is off the mark. It hurts, but 23 Savage cheese vacuum another time. They finally snowball. There's no way he lived through this, as they are eventually going to kill off the Owl, kill off the Tusk. T1. It ain't pretty, but it's happening.
It's happening.
It's happening.
DP being a little bit greedy there, had 20 seconds left on the Exorcism and held on to the Refresher Shard, so she's still got it in her back pocket if she needs to use it. Maybe realizing that, look, at the end of the day, if I die, I don't have buyback. Alchemist still did, so just going for the more measured play, but it could have been an opportunity for them to end it right there.
And like I was saying before, like, you know, that wall earlier from Darkseer right over here, it looked really, really bad, but he freaking pulled it back in that high ground defense. The 3-person vacuum into that wall afterwards, and then the beautiful Burrow Strike. You can tell that momentum, the shift that we're experiencing in this game, it's getting crazy.
And now you've got the Daedalus finished up on Uncle as well, so he's still even just 5-slotted. He's got this empty bottle sitting there on him.
Jump back in the wall, trying to save In Your Dream. Can they do it? Another skewer away, running out of there. But stun on himself because of the Lotus Orb. They need to get out. Forev is going to be able to make the jump. Can he escape in time? Paulus in no man's land. Blinding Light pushback. He's going to Glimmer Cape for the moment. Can he find a place to hide? Say spots Paulus in, and there's going to be the blink forward for the kill. So it is, you know, a couple of clutch kills. But again, you look at that, there was a buyback from 23 Savage.
Yeah, that's huge. That is huge for T1. It opens up a massive window for them to actually win this game. Now that's the win condition. Kill the Alchemist. He doesn't have buyback. Got the DP, still has that refresher shard, so it leaves a small window open for FNATIC, but man, really interesting here.
Absolutely. 45 minutes in, we're getting closer and closer to that later timing. They have been able to hold on back up again to like 9,000 net worth lead after it was back down to like 4 or something. It's how quickly these things turn around. And 23 Savage is going to be going for a rapier of his own. Since buying this rapier, Miracle has not died. He's 13-1-7. Damage has been off the chain. He's also got a flicker now. One of the few times that this item is actually amazing for Ember Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things like Spirit, Luna, these are the types of heroes that really benefit from it. The ones that can hit multiple heroes in the same team fight. I just have to point out DJ's a Meteor Hammer, which might have meant that they just wanted to take these objectives that by any means necessary, but as you can see what he's got queued up now, something like a Solar Crest would have been absolutely huge for the survivability of, well, all 3 cores on his team.
Well, and now you really have to save for buyback too, so like it's going to be that much longer than it would have been otherwise. These items online. Oh, wow. All right, we'll see where this happens now. We're at, I mean, what are the rest of the neutral items looking like also? We've got a Prince's Knife on FNATIC. Looks like nobody's opting to take that one right now. And then on the side of Dire, they still have one more item to pick up. Witless Shaco for the Darkseid. Have a camera of all things for the Sand King. Fine. Ice. All alone. Jumps forward, finds the stun. He's really far away from the rest of his team, but able to... I guess he's probably just trying to bait out a BKB charge or something.
He's on the low ground. Hasn't got his level 25 yet, so he's hankering for that. Especially now, like, if he doesn't do something, that leaves a window open for T1 to try and get on the offensive. Dragon form is down.
Well, it is going to be a rapier for Alchemist done now, and he has the Chemical Rage regen. They find one here. It's Jabs. That's a nice take him out right at the start. He does have buyback. Moon kind of in no man's land now. Does Frev find him in time? Oh, not quite going to be there. This is TP.
Centaur MVP right there. They're just going to let this Wild Wing run around. Do whatever he wants.
My heart can't handle this game. I'm so used to like 20-minute start. How quickly these things... And the only problem is that they are still 2 racks down and the creeps keep showing up. So Paulison not able to be with the team. All these lanes are pushing in so heavily.
I mean, I get worried because it's me. I'm sure Miracle doesn't have the same issue. It's a lot of buttons that he has to press to be able to get the absolute most out of these team fights. And you know, in the heat of things, wouldn't surprise me if he just forgets to use something.
No, you're not wrong. It's I mean, they're pro but how many opportunities do you have to play games like this where it goes to this state, there's this stuff? Sure, he's going to be able to do it, but it's a little bit crazy. Timeless Relic was picked up, by the way, for the Sand King now. We hit 15-minute mark, still a little ways away from that tier 5. But FNATIC with a done. That's in your dream. Bomb for the moment. That's a nice Glimmer Cape. Back away. looking for an opening. Moon's gonna blink up to the high ground and ice. And kind of in no man's land. It's gonna be skewered back for another round. There's gonna be Fizzleblade immediately catching there onto the Sand King, and now in your dream, he's just dead. Buyback on the Sand King, trying to get out with the rest of them. They need to escape if at all possible. And it hasn't been propped yet for Miracle, so if you jump on him, he still has an out. Oh my god, he's eventually gonna get stunned, but he doesn't quite die. He actually manages to live through that. So not gonna need to buy back on the Coddle.
No buyback needed on Coddle. You've still got this Magnus one held, which you know he still has it, but and they're not willing to take any sorts of risks. The refresher shot in. Press that timer.
Oh, for the deep. Oh god. Game 2-second Dragon's Tail, Dragon's Tail stun. 25 yet. Jab's got his 20, which is the Hand of God cooldown. That's pretty nice. Cooldown on that was something that just got transferred over. Was there another Aghanims now?
Sounds like it. Onto the
Okay.
It cannot
Black Dragon's here.
Hello, I'm large and in charge, and my name is Ice. That is a long stunt. And buildings, it looks like they're done. Mega's not the end of the game. It's a little scary. Surge forward. Careful. Get about
have mega creeps.
some damage.
FNATIC's turn to ban.
Oh, the other way. There you go. You got it. Perfect. You're killing it now. High five me. You ready? 3, 2, 1.
Dire team
Got it.
ban.
Okay. But yeah, here
Radiant
it's
team pick.
already underway. Absolutely chaotic and ridiculous game number 1. FNATIC ended up coming out with the
Dire
victory.
team
What
pick.
were you looking at? So quick noticeable changes that have been made.
Honestly, my brain's still kind of scattered from that 5-minute game, which had 3 rapiers into it. I'm interested to see how this Void Spirit's going to work. It's the type of hero that, for example, Ice can play very well, but of course they've got the mechanically skilled players that can play it in any of the 3 core positions.
10 seconds
It wouldn't even
remaining.
surprise me to see DJ run it, but I don't think that's how FNATIC operate most of the
5
time.
seconds
I think
remaining.
they've stayed pretty consistent with a lot of their bans, as well as on T1 side, it was actually FNATIC that banned out the Nyx Assassin this time around. So the exact same setup as well. So FNATIC Radiant side, T1 second pick.
Keeping it very consistent. Sure that they're remaining
Dire team
very energized for this game. And speaking of being
Radiant
energized,
team
shout out to our
pick.
sponsors. We got the lovely Monster Energy energizing us through these late evening. And then, of course, Loot.bet, who are taking care of
Address it with the later picks that they might be telegraphing here. They do have the last pick to be able to completely round out their draft, and the AA is banned by
10
FNATIC. So maybe
seconds
this is something
remaining.
they were considering from the very beginning.
banning out the 8 or
5
what?
seconds
What-
remaining.
Banning out the AA means that they can then pick the Morphling, and they don't have to rely
Got
on a
it.
Spirit Vessel.
Dire team pick.
They take it out,
Radiant
or they get
team pick.
themselves?
Morphling.
They're gonna take it for themselves. That's the play.
Okay, reasonable. I don't mind it.
Think of like the gyrocopter I-8 or whatever, right? Like Morphling taken, or like in response.
Yeah. And it was always good to see
10
those
seconds remaining.
balls of water just fly. Your Dream can play it as well, so they've got that level of flexibility for themselves. Lacking a stun, like something to combo this this vacuum together with. Maybe they'll go something like, well, no, Keeper of the Light was just banned out by FNATIC. So they got to do something. I'm not liking the Lion. I hope they don't do it. It does level of utility that I think is needed. I hope they don't go for the Sand King again. You've heard my thoughts on the Sand King. What else is there? They banned the Lina out themselves.
Classic of the Wyvern. You got Jakiro? I've been kind of a believer in Jakiro recently.
Yeah.
That hero's kind of cool. And it's a lot easier to get that combo. Lay down the ice path and then
Lich is a possibility as well, although there's not all too much in the form of physical damage just
Dire
yet on
team
FNATIC's side. So
Legion Commander.
really be countering that much. Legion, yeah, it's decent. I mean, you can go back to your Wyvern thing that you were mentioning before, but I don't know. I feel like that sort of combo, you want to be able to burst someone down within the vacuum stun combo, and if you're Winter's Cursing, then you're needing to wait until after the fact. It just doesn't like instant
10
turnaround
seconds
impact that I
remaining.
think that T1 really excels in.
the flip side to that though is it is
5
the
seconds
heroes
remaining.
already. And
Anti-mage.
March tag team? I'm trying to remember.
I believe so.
Regardless, they don't.
Nope.
Or can't. Okay.
Cannot be dispelled.
Yeah, the anti-mage.
10 seconds
What do you
remaining.
think about it here? Do you like the pick?
The anti-mage has an impact. The X well onto the storm, jump in on the back
10
lines, get
seconds
some damage,
remaining.
and take out the Overtaker, and then win the rest of the team fight.
5 seconds
I
remaining.
mean, in that same vein, I mean,
There is, but it also gives, obviously the Earthshaker is the thing that you want to be morphing into most of the time, but an Ember Spirit isn't the worst thing.
FNATIC gonna take.
Well, 5 seconds left.
They
Dire
listen.
team pick.
There you go, the chair.
Okay. I don't mind it.
Riki. Choose your hero, my good friend.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Sure. Why not?
So about the Savage. Miracle's very different game.
Yes. Yeah, I feel the game is much more centered around In Your Dream as opposed to Miracle's style. He's going to be creating the space for the Morphling to be able to have an impact and hopefully burst down. You would think Moon would be the main target for this, but still, it's going to be so hard to try and catch out one of these heroes.
It's just
10 seconds remaining.
that they've picked 4 melee here. Doesn't have like a crazy. No?
I mean, it seems like they're putting a lot into this vacuum smoke cloud wall combo, I suppose. But, I mean, how successful is that going to be? Yeah.
There. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2. Get started and hop into this one. FNATIC facing off against T1. We've said what we kind of think about the drafts and where they're going to have a game play to figure out what the end. Try and load up odds this time. And last time when I loaded up the odds, it was wrong. It was odds FNATIC versus BAM, which hasn't happened, obviously. I'm gonna do it correctly this time. That's what they're giving for game number 2. What's happening? Quick and early start. Timing wise, this feels like a lot is predicated upon when this Ricky gets his defuse.
Yeah, absolutely. And with this Legion Commander pick, it makes it always more difficult to try and farm as this melee core because, you know, you can just trade very easily. If they harass against you, you've got the counterattack that can turn things around immediately. It just makes it a very, very tough situation all around.
Funny thing that I do, by the way, when I'm at the end of the games, to make sure that I don't like leave the overlay up forever and it's terrible, I cast the like draft off of S like preview monitor thing, and I made the scene big, and then I just tried clicking and I wasn't clicking.
Now
That is a good tip, and I will remember that because I have done that a couple of times in my casting.
Yeah, it's a really easy way to make sure that you don't do it anymore, but still occasionally.
Yeah. Sometimes you click on the OBS screen, you know.
Good. And then something like this happens. Not great. Like this, and then you're like, oh, what's happening? Nobody saw that.
30
I just
seconds
clicked on
to
the
battle.
game capture itself and started moving around.
I had a terrarium once, rather like this.
Taking over that.
Except with mice. And a
Jay
chameleon.
and Ice,
But
they're up on the
possibilities
side of the
for
map here.
combat were much the same.
There might be a bit of a battle for the bounty runes. Try and push back. Well, they are going to have a tough time trying to contest for this, so I lane this.
I don't think so. I think they were just looking to pressure the runes, make sure they got both of them. They do potential if they were to go in completely. Is he going to be able to get off this tag team? Doesn't seem to want to go for the Jakiro at all.
Oh, it looks like they're going to try and eat the wave. I think that's the play here. Iron Shelf double of them and then just body block the whole thing. They're not going to get it. Didn't body block. What? Okay, now the shards, and that looks like it might actually be enough to finish it off. So are they going to dive right at the start here? Or are they just...
I don't think so.
Okay.
They're just trying to secure farm in any way imaginable. What's the game plan right now for Miracle on the top side? Because he's suddenly up against 2 people. DJ wisely going up toward the side. Little creeps down underneath the T. How you would assume. Jab's harassing out as well. Yeah.
So I guess the thing about this is that it's sort of like what I was talking about last game, where Brev kind of needs to get level 3 before they can really play aggressively and think to double up that damage from that. Meantime, DJ is actually just roaming around because he realizes, hey, I'm not really gonna be able to kill Miracle here. Ice should have a perfectly fine time in this lane. Instead, they're gonna mess with In Your Dream. Right now, does not have any points in the waveform and move them. Oh, there he goes. Got level 2.
Having to walk all the way back just to be able to pick up a sentry ward is another thing. You kind of cut off the supply chain, I suppose you could call it, by constantly cutting these creeps.
Ice is pushing them completely out of the time. It's Miracle who's just trying to get he can underneath the tower as well. Yeah, this is going to be a dangerous position for 23 Savage for a little bit. He has a salve coming out to him, but
thank you.
It's just one tango. Gets salved up by the hero, and they eventually try and get some more pressure on Rev. But they're just gonna let him get some farm in.
He's been doing a really good job though, farming underneath the tower.
Dire's middle tower
Know about that war?
extraordinary amount of stress.
Got him.
Yeah, right.
Upside, they're going on to ISS.
Give them a dropping down.
Done. Give him the punch. Do they have any extra follow-up? Not enough to get the
Spell's still on cooldown, so they weren't able to get the Mango follow-up with Ice. He's going to nuke the wave. Be careful though.
guards. Back the other direction.
Oh, Ice, styling on him.
Wow. Just compare as the rest of them are leaving, so that nothing that they can do there. That's I like this warp, but this is a little bit rough right now. Like every move that they're making is just not working. And Forev here gets the TP back towards the tower is the
Self-portraits.
Yeah. I'm really liking the way that Savage is farming as well. He was farming completely alone underneath the tower with all of that creep wave disruption that happened, and I didn't see him missing the last hit, so really nicely done to be leading on the network.
And again, I'm confused. Like, I thought that they're gonna bring again, try and pressure the AM. Forev having like damage out from the Ion Shell, but not opting to go for it. Instead, they're just saying, okay, we're gonna, get what we can out of these lanes. Okay, but they're already behind all 3 lanes.
Behind all 3 lanes, and they've left this anti-mage to completely free farm on his own. They've even got these creep waves pushing underneath the tier 1 tower. They're going to get taken out probably before Forev can get the experience from them.
Brace yourself for sad tidings.
Deny.
Radiant's courier has been slain.
I can deny there as well. He might even get the 3rd. Forces out the vacuum. Make sure that he ends up getting that last creep deny. Now a lot of heroes in the area. Forev, what is he gonna do? I think the answer is die. He gets the surge on. Could go for a jump in if they wanted, but not gonna opt for it. Breaking the salve.
Done. A little bit of a rotation, but yeah, at the end of the day, you've got Forev who's still yet to get up into his level 5, and 23 Savage a full level ahead. Like, he was with them, still is, the mid laners at this point, because Jabs didn't need to stay in lane. His job was just to harass out Forev.
Is there seeing all this like stuff that's on the left-hand side of the screen that wasn't going away? All the bounty runes.
Stuff.
There was like all the bounty rune notifications and everything like piling up there on the left side.
Like, I've had it happen once, not this game.
Reds, us, get turn, waveform forward, take down DJ. Now, I see over here, but they don't really have the greatest of heroes to take it out right now. I guess Fate or something.
Yeah, still holding that last skill point. They head up towards the top side, and Ice. He's got great game sense. What at bottom is definitely going to assist.
Dyer's
They know
middle tower is
TPing
under
down
attack.
towards that bot side.
They have to be careful here. Side of T1. Looks like Moon is coming to finish off. They drop down this ward, which is not quite. It's gonna Moon now. They have vision of him. Up for the stroke of fate. They don't hit that stroke of fate though onto Moon. Shards block off, but he just astral steps the other side. That's a little bit of a hard kill to get.
Yeah. Pretty sure DJ got all of those last 3 kills though, so that's going to be really helpful for his first key items. He's rushing into the Blink Dagger. Nice, again, just that great presence of mind, and plus being level 6 against a level 2 Tusk doesn't hurt.
Brev picks up Shovel. Level 6. Savage still with a free game. Not been pressured at all.
Are you even trying?
I don't know. This is really scary right now. You give this game. I mean, is it a game that he can just sort of take over completely? Or are there things that he has to be worried about in this one?
I mean, doesn't have to be worried about a wall. Because it was just used to even get a single illusion, and the rest of his team, they're doing what needs to be done. They're creating a ton of space on the top side, starting to take down this tower. Miracle is forced to sit back and let it happen.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Plus side,
In fact, they appear
that,
radiant
you know,
with health. Dyer's top
they
tower
have
is
been able to
under
get
attack.
some good damage here onto the mid
Radiant's
tower.
middle
Dream
tower
Ball
is in
Center
a stunning
area.
development. Dyer's
They
top
aren't
tower
able
has fallen.
down yet. Ice could duel here, but your dream isn't careful. He has to be real careful here. Almost pulled him in, but not quite in time. And on the top side to take down the Jakiro. All right. Who's in the tower, able to pick up a few there.
Yeah, I think that's kind of just a consolation prize, you know.
How get taken, have one.
I have punching for you.
Continuing.
I really prefer this this build up to the Battle Fury these days because yeah, it does slightly different styles of damage. It's less focused on creeps, more on heroes. It means that you're less likely to be punished because you don't need that demon edge anymore. It's these smaller damage items that mean that you gradually get more of those stages of farm.
Ice has been able to avoid multiple. It looks like this one's finally going to be a bit too much for him. Chase comes in, and they get the kill. Another punish there. Bit of a comeback they want to make.
But they've got a tree just sitting inside the base. I wonder who they're that through to. You think it's Moon on Spirit just to make him a little bit tanky. Straight into the damage and space creation is the name of the game for him, and then the late game they're going to give that to 23 Savage.
Brev, Fissure gonna land. Is under control. Vacuum. Back in, back out. Take a couple of those ones, and it looked like there was one outpost. So very slow start to this game as we hit this 10-minute mark. Still wait for the big opening, and it kind of has to favor FNATIC just because of this free farming AM.
Positioning here from Jabs on his, making sure to stand in the trees on the side. They had the Grimstroke and the Ricky Ice, so that's basically a guaranteed kill on position, but choosing to stay back and he's in a safe space.
That tome still a long ways away from Dagger. He's gonna try and get this back and eventually get more farm eventually there for his wall. A lot of that mana away from him. This is one thing that's pretty scary is these Dark Seer illusions actually surge him in. Out.
Radiant's top tower
Does
is
find
under
DJ.
attack.
Yeah, this is not going to be enough. Up on the top side. Fine Legion. Ice, ice, ice. Body block in a little bit. Jabs trying to slow him down. Shards. Ooh, just barely. Stroke of Fate is not going to off that kill.